everybody.
Hello, welcome to Tone Wars. This is Jared and Carrie. We are back. We took a little hiatus last week. We needed some R&R, I think.
Yeah, lots of work doing some of these shows. So
right.
Yeah, had to get caught up on some things.
We sure did.
Yeah.
Wanted to say hi to Josh. He was the first one.
Oh, hey, Josh.
Josh Chair and Helix Banana. What's up?
What's going on, Josh? In fact, Josh and I have been corresponding via email these last few days. So, hello, buddy. I think he's getting... trying to remember which product we were talking about. It's been... And I apologize. It's been a crazy couple days. I think it might have been the Blue Amp. So let us know... what other products you'd like me to do on my live, I'm starting to do live interactive demos and reviews. So, feel free to post away on what products you want me to do, and I'll definitely look them up. So
that's right.
Yeah, happy to do it.
Well, I'm excited to be back to hang out with you guys. Feel free to ask your questions in the chat, and we'll get those questions right over to Jared.
Yes.
Let's see. Wrong Josh. Haha. It's not the right Josh.
Oh.
This is Josh Chair.
Josh Chair. Oh.
Chayer. Chair.
Oh, the other one is Choier.
Oh, no.
So, yeah. Wow. You got a doppelganger out there. Well, welcome anyways, Josh.
That's right. So tonight, what are we doing? Tonight we're going to do some viewer comments over the...
Yes.
You went live 3 times this week.
Was it?
Monday night, Wednesday night, and here we are.
Tonight, yeah. So, So I kind of felt bad. I had to make up for Sunday night, missing Sunday night. But, So, I'm starting to do, so when I do, reviews, of something like this, like the MT15 and stuff, it's 14 hours. Right. By the time I'm done recording all the tracks and editing and saying my talking points and all that kind of stuff, and then I get tons of comments, which I appreciate.
Always.
But yeah, exactly. So I love that, but then I can't really interact with you guys real time. And there's times people ask me questions like, well, what happens if you do this?
Right.
Well, when I do the live interactive reviews, you can ask it, and I can actually do that, and we can experience it together.
Right.
So not only is it a huge time saver for me to do it that way, but I think it's more fun. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to try to start the interactive reviews out with a pre-recorded, full mix kind of thing with all the stats about the product. Mm-hmm. And then we go live to me, and then I'll start off saying hello real quick, but then I'll go ahead and play that product in a mix through 2 or 3 mixes at least so you can hear it. And then we can just talk and, interact, and I can do a couple more playthroughs and different things.
I think you should learn how to play guitar in different styles so that you not only have metal.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Oh, I feel a challenge.
Yeah. No,
I feel a challenge.
Well, I used to be an 80s,
you still are. What is this used to?
I used to be an 80s hairband guy, so I could pull out some of my old riffs and polish them up. And, you're right. Ben has actually been telling me, too, Ben Burnett. He's like, dude, when people ask you, how does it sound if you're playing, 80s stuff or, just some regular AC/DC or whatever, rock, just straight up rock. And he's like...
Not everybody can go... I don't know what this is. This is like a clarinet? Is that what I'm doing?
It's a clarinet. Yeah, not everybody can play clarinet. So.
Let's see. Ben Burnett says the audio is doubled. Is there a delay setting on?
No, shouldn't be. Interesting. Let's see here. I have one mic going on here.
This one?
Yeah, there's only one mic in the room besides the one that's on the cab, but there's no way that one's picking us up because it's a huge...
Is it still happening, Ben?
Yeah, that's weird. It shouldn't be happening.
And then Xander says, greetings, Earthlings.
Greetings. Yes. Live long and prosper, man. Surprised you could do that.
Why? Why are you surprised I can do this?
I didn't know you
can you do this? With your pinky?
No. Well, kind of.
No, you can't. Can you do
Yeah.
just your first finger?
No.
No.
Can you go?
Only with my mouth. Let's see.
Well.
Aaron says, sounds fine here. Helix Banana, sounds fine. Sounds good. All right. It must just be Ben's issue.
Yeah.
You should clean out your ears.
Clean out your ears.
Clean out your ears.
Did you hear that, Ben? Oh, man. You and Carrie are in a fight.
What you got tonight? What are you drinking?
Cheers.
Cheers.
I don't know. What did you pour in here?
That's right. I did that to you,
Yeah,
didn't
you did
I?
that to me.
Guess.
I think this is that Canadian whiskey that
It
Dave brought
is.
over.
Yep.
Thanks,
Our
Dave.
friend Dave Rebell
Yes.
brought us our favorite 40 Creek. This one is not the honey spice, which is my favorite, but this is, what is it?
I forgot.
It's regular.
Yeah, it's a really good whiskey, though.
It's
just,
a regular.
it's a good straight up, just awesome whiskey, and you're drinking a wine.
Yeah, I've got a Bordeaux. Can't remember the brand, but it's a wine night for this chick. Riveting entertainment. Nice. Thank you, Helix Banana.
Riveting.
Riveting.
He was on the edge of his seat with the Vulcan stuff, I think.
Right. All of my secret talents. I cannot play guitar, but I can do this.
Yeah, what you got, Darren?
Let's see. Xander says the MT15 was impressive, by the way.
Oh, thank you. This thing...
Is that this thing?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's a great amp, and I have it mic'd up for you guys. Maybe we can do shadow puppets?
Yeah.
I don't know, on the ceiling.
With my...
Yeah.
Nice. The Chicago Todd says, yo, y'all. Todd
what's
in
up?
Chicago just joined for a bit on a way to rehearsal.
Oh, sweet. Good to see you, man. Hey, I think you got the blue. Why don't you post like what you think of it so far? I'd like to hear your thoughts on it.
But don't get into a car accident.
Yeah.
On your way to
Yep,
rehearsal.
Oprah is going to get mad if you're texting and driving, so, yeah.
That's right. Who else is in here that we can say hi to? Aaron Short,
Hey, what's up, Aaron?
Ben, and Chicago Todd.
Thanks for joining us, guys. It's kind of a low-key night. I'm going to do some riffs, maybe I'm going to do some riffs on this and do like a full mix playthrough on two different mixes. And then we're just going to talk. We got a lot of stuff to discuss because you weren't here like last week.
I know.
You know, so everybody missed you.
Thanks.
I missed you. I can say that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And thanks for the nice words.
Yeah, of course. Of course. We wanted to talk about... I put the subjects up there. We're doing viewer comments. And we're also, doing the... What was the question I posted? Is Fight Night dead?
Is Fight Night dead?
Yeah.
R.I.P. Fight Night.
Yeah, are we?
Maybe.
I don't know. We'll have to discuss that.
We're gonna talk about it with you guys and see what you guys think.
Yeah, we want your guys' thoughts on Fight Night too. We want to see what you guys think about that.
Seems they've caused quite a stir.
Yeah, they have. They've caused quite a stir, and I'm not afraid of causing stirs.
No.
As long as it's for good things. You know what I mean? As long as it's a positive outcome.
There's good outcomes.
Yeah. So, but I want to see what you guys think.
Ben said the issues were on his end. He reset everything, and he's good.
Oh, good. Thank
Xander, it's a real toss-up for me between the blue guitar and the MT15. What does the group like? So he's asked the group. You guys go ahead and chime in, and we'll see what they say.
Yeah.
Aaron says, loving the amp one and the Waza Air spent too much this week.
Hey, man. I feel your pain.
Is your wallet hot?
Yeah, I feel your pain. Aaron, if you guys don't know who Aaron is, Aaron Short Music, subscribe to his channel. He does a lot of good gear reviews as well. He's a friend of ours, great guy, and he gives honest gear reviews as well. And he just reviewed the Waza, the headphones.
Oh, okay.
So they're wireless. You could plug your guitar. Well, you don't plug it into them because they're wireless. You just have a little thing here. You pop in here, and they're wireless. And
how big are they?
About the size of your typical headphones.
What are they for?
So when you plug your guitar into them.
Because who wants to be on stage with giant headphones on?
Well, this is for people like if you're watching TV and I want to practice guitar. I could plug into these, and I have amp tones in here,
so you don't drive me nuts.
Yes, so I have amp tones, I have I have effects, I have everything in here. Mm-hmm. And what's cool is like you can make them stationary so that when you move your head, everything stays, or you can actually make it so that they're not stationary. So when you move your head,
You get the effect.
You get the effect of your amps right here, and when you move your head, you can tell your amps right here.
Ah.
So and from what Aaron said, they sound really good. So, yeah, very interesting concept. I think they're saving marriages all across the world.
I was just gonna say, if you are shacking up with somebody, you have to get a pair. Do them a favor, because in their heart of hearts, they love you.
Mm-hmm.
They really do. But they can't stand all the noise.
Exactly. Or if you want to get rid of that person.
That's right.
Make them wear the headphones and play your guitar until they're like, I'm out of here. And you're like, thank you, Waza.
Waza. It sounds
Waza.
like a voila.
Yeah.
Voila, we fixed your marriage.
Exactly.
Oh, funny. Let's see. He says, I'm going to post a follow-up review tomorrow, but he's loving them.
Oh, cool, man.
And then he also said, long live Fight Night.
Yeah?
Huzzah.
Ah.
Right?
So Aaron's got a vote for Fight Night?
Yes.
Yeah, we want to hear what you guys think. If you want Fight Night to continue, please say...
Let's talk about it a little. Do you want to jump into that?
Yeah,
Let's
we can.
do that. Talk about Fight Night.
So if you want it to stay, please say whether you want it to stay or not and why. I want to see what your thoughts
And why is your reasoning for teeter-tottering?
Well, okay, so it's a lot of work, which I don't mind doing. You know how much work it is. I mean, you do a lot of work on it too.
Not nearly as much as you, sir.
But, and I appreciate that, but I mean, you do your share of whatever it is that you're supposed to do.
Of whatever it is.
Yeah.
He doesn't know.
Yeah. You do the spreadsheets and you're here and you make sure that everything's organized.
No, stop.
Yeah. So anyways, it's a lot of work and I can't tell you guys how much work it is. Usually it's 3 to 4 days of my life, doing it.
You know what they say about work, though? When you're doing something you love.
Yeah, it's not work.
Not work.
Yeah. Well, it's starting to feel like work in some ways. So, and it's a lot of sacrifice on other people that show up.
Oh, Aaron, you stop it. Aaron's all bragging about Nam. Sorry, I interrupted you. He's like, Nam is weeks away, and all this cool stuff has just been released. It makes me wonder what will come at Nam. I know. If you don't stop talking about it, I'm going to start crying.
Yeah, we can't go this year.
We can't go. We wanted to, so bad.
Yeah, super bad. But it's not, it's just the schedules just aren't going to work out this time.
Not in the cards.
Yeah, not in the cards. But next year, there's always next year. But anyways, yeah, it's a lot of work. Again, don't mind doing it. It's a lot of sacrifice on people's time that come and participate in it. And I guess one of my concerns is, when we shoot out two products, right? So we shoot out product A against product B. It's all fair. It's on the up and up. Nobody's sponsoring it. Nobody's paying us. It's all on our backs, So we're alienating half the people. You know what I mean? Because you get these people that get really mad when their product that they identify their identities attached to might not fare well.
Listen to that. Let's say that again. That they're what?
Their product that they attach their identity to.
Right.
And if their product loses, they feel like they lost. And then they want to sit here and defend it. And then they hate us because apparently we made their product lose or whatever. But it's not on us. It's all blind. It's a blind test. And the whole thing behind this channel is honesty behind gear reviews, not shilly we got paid $3,000 to demonstrate this product. Well, of course I'm going to say it's good because I got paid to say so.
But bottom line, we don't want to offend masses of people.
Yeah, well, we don't want to offend half the people that are watching the show.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I mean, we
don't want them to get offended by one episode and then not come back for other episodes that they could glean from. Yeah,
exactly, because there's plenty of things that we do here that are beneficial to those same people that might get offended by something like that. Now, and then what happens is they drag our name through the mud in their different groups, like the Gear page and other places like that, and it's not benefiting us. Now, I'll be clear, I don't walk away from fights. You know, it's not like a thing where it's like, you know, oh, I give up because someone's mad. I don't do that, you know.
Well, this is not about your ego, though.
No.
This is about your livelihood.
Well, it's about our livelihood. It's about, you know, we want a positive thing here. And honestly, my intention through the whole thing when I came up with the idea was, it's honest. It's a blind test. It's the Folgers Crystal test or the Pepsi Challenge or whatever. And I just thought it would be really fun. And it has been fun, but there's like this negative thing about it too, where people like, I get up the next day and I'm like, God, I'm so exaused from last night, even though I had a good time.
Your inbox is full of hate mail.
Yeah. And I'm getting like all this hate, and I'm just like, you know, I'm sorry your product lost. You know, and it's not from manufacturers; it's from people that spent money on the product, and they're mad. And now let me take a shot of courage here.
There we go.
Okay. So, and look, I watch YouTube videos too, like about this thing. I watched about this. And there's nothing worse than getting something and then seeing a bad review of it. And then you're like, you feel like, oh no, what have I done? You know, and you got the instant regret, buyer's remorse and stuff like that. And people want to feel good about the products that they buy, especially music gear. A lot of music gear is very expensive. And it's almost like it's taken personal if there's a bad review on something that they bought and they can't deal with it. And that's not what we're trying to do here at all. We're just trying to help people make the best decisions that they can based on blind tests and shootouts of things. And, you know, it's not about us trashing products.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean,
I don't think we've ever trashed a product. No.
Nope.
I wouldn't want to be part of it if that's what we were doing.
No, that's not what we do. Because, I mean, I wouldn't want to do that. I mean, the only thing I was pretty hard on some presets a while ago, but I had my reasons for that. But, you know, the thing is, though, is... and I'm not going to take that back. It is what it is, but, you know.
Yeah.
But I just think a lot of people out there just want to watch YouTube and go, wow, a lot of people said that thing I just bought is amazing, so now I can feel good about it. But see, I don't want to just make you feel good about your product because, you know, you want to hear that. I want you to make you feel good about your product because it's true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I also want to review products that you haven't bought yet so that you can base, you know, you could buy something that you can genuinely feel good about immediately. You know?
Aaron Short sent $1.99 to the anti-shill fund. That's so funny.
Thanks, man.
He also says, it is what it is. That's my famous saying. My kids always are like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I personally found it very useful. No one else is comparing gear like that. And then Dave Rebell says, even great fighters have good days and bad days.
Yeah.
He also said hi.
Hey,
hi,
Dave
Rebell. Thanks for the new whiskey.
Yes, thank you so much. That takes the edge off of the week every time.
Yeah. Ben says, I would love for Fight Night to stay, but not at the expense of the channel or your sanity. And I agree with the last statement there, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I had insomnia after the last one because it was a lot of stress.
It was a whole week. You didn't sleep for a week. And...
Yeah, and it wasn't because the fanboys of the product that didn't fare well said things. I mean, it added to it, obviously, but there's just a lot that goes into these nights, you know. It's not just... Hey, I invite a bunch of people over here. They get here 5 minutes before we go live, and we sit down and go live.
And so it's not just you; it's the guests as well that are getting hate mail. And
some of the guests get hate mail, you know, and it's really
upsetting.
Yeah, and it's like, and I feel responsible for it, and it makes me feel bad. So I'm like, you know, I'm not one to let all of the, you know, the what do you call it, the trolls, you know, scare me away from doing what I want to do. But when other people are involved, that's when I start going, man, I don't know. You know, I don't want them to get a bunch of hate for it.
Dave also says, you guys have been fantastic with your fight nights and your product reviews. You win some, you lose some. What's important is that they're informative.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do, is just be informative with it. Yep. So, I mean, I'm not saying no, but I'm saying I'm going to put it on the shelf for a little bit and just see what happens, you know?
So what are you going to replace it with?
I'm not sure.
No?
Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest with you, because we got to do something. I do want to still do the interactive gear reviews on Wednesdays, you know. I might be bumping that to 8, right? Is that what I'm supposed to be doing?
Maybe 8. Maybe test out Thursdays.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
see.
Yeah, so, but there will be an interactive gear review every week. Yeah, I'm not sure about Fight Night. I mean, if I could come up with some products that are worthy opponents and they don't have a toxic fan base, I mean, maybe we could do that.
Sometimes I think, though, and I know I've said this to you before, and you guys can chime in as well. And it's harder to do when it's you that's receiving the hate mail. I don't receive hate mail. I don't check it. I go in and comment, occasionally, but
Yeah.
I've got full-time job and 2 kids that
Yeah.
I'm tending to, and I'm not here and working on this. So, but he does. So I have told him multiple times, just put your blinders on. Like, blinders on, move forward. Respond to the positive things, respond to the questions, and literally just put the blinders on. I feel like that's like what celebrities have to do. Every celebrity, even the greatest one or your favorite one, is going to have haters. And if they listen to all the bad press and all of the haters, nobody would be out working at all. So I think that we have been putting out quality work.
Yeah.
I think we've been learning as we go, as we should. You start at one level and you build and you learn things and evolve as you go. But
well, the thing is with the celebrities, though, it's a great point.
Yeah.
But they're making millions. I'm making zero.
Right. You got $1.99.
Oh, that's right. Thanks, dude. No, and and I'm not trying to ignore the super chats that we've gotten over the times and everything. I appreciate those very much. I'll never not appreciate those. And but I mean, at the end of the day, you do a 4-day job where you're working on this for 4 days, many phone calls, many hours into it, a lot of texts over Facebook and messaging and stuff like that.
I can't even imagine the hours that you spend on the phone and on Messenger before and after and all
hours
that. So.
And hours and hours. So. And it's like, it's all for free. And then you get up the next day and there's a bunch of people going, oh, you don't know what you're doing. And, oh, you sabotaged it. And like making me sound like I just, oh, you're sponsored by Kemper. That's why Kemper won. And it's like.
Well, again, though, let's keep it in perspective because haters going to hate no matter what. Yep. So, honestly, I really think blinders on, walk forward. Walk forward with it. Be positive, be informative. Thank you, Ben. He's got the super chats. His weekly donation.
Oh, thank you, Ben.
Thank you
very
so
much. Appreciate that, dude.
Dave Rebell had a new name suggestion called "In This Corner." In this corner.
Or maybe we should have a very softer, gentler fight night and call it Pillow Fight Night.
Oh, shut it. Pillow Fight Night.
For all the little, the little guys out there that just can't handle that they spent too much on something that lost. Aw. Cry me a river, guys.
The Chicago Todd. Love the fight nights. Maybe change the name. Fight night infers a winner-loser. I thought it would be fun because everybody, people do pay-per-view to see...
well, that was the whole thing. It was tongue-in-cheek. It was... and I appreciate the comment, Todd, very much. It's a great idea because the whole thing was tongue-in-cheek. It was all... That's why we did the intro with us in a boxing ring and all that kind of stuff. Because it was like... it's all a play on words, and when it was like the whole WWE thing, or we were talking it up big time and stuff, and that's what it was about. It was all kind of like, tongue in cheek. It wasn't serious, like
maybe. I wonder if what it is. It was that it was Kemper, against other things, and so it looked a little.
Well, the reason why I did that though was because Kemper first took on.
Because you were excited about Kemper.
Well, no. The first one was Kemper versus Helix.
Yeah.
And then the winner of that would go on to fight the next thing, which was XFX.
Yeah.
And then we broke it up with FRFR cabs.
Yeah.
We did a fight night with those.
I'm so glad you remember all this.
Yeah. Steel trap. It's a selective steel trap.
Except for schedules. Yeah.
It's a selective steel trap. Yeah. So I wanted to have the Kemper run its course with the different platforms out there, and then and we're done with the Kemper. There's no need to put it up against anything now.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I did that, and then I was going to move on to other things like the MT15 versus something,
Yeah.
But it all depends, you know.
Yeah. We got another super chat.
Oh, well, thank you.
Jeremy Armstrong says he finally figured out how to chat. Great show, and he appreciates the honesty. And then he sent a super chat.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Seriously, very much appreciate it, man. That stuff goes a long way around here. We are always trying to upgrade the set. If you look back on our earlier videos,
in your living room?
Yeah, it wasn't as good. So, I mean, we always apply it towards the set. We bought carpet. You know, we used to have bed sheets down here to make the floor look black.
Sheets.
Yeah, so and now
I miss the sheets.
Yeah.
I miss tripping and nearly breaking my neck.
Oh, all right. Well, we can arrange that for you.
That's funny.
I know a guy.
Yeah. Shall we? You want to do some viewer comments?
Yeah, let's do some viewer comments while I'm warming up here.
All right, let me go find my my screenshots, photos. Here we go. So we took comments from let's see, the blue. This is not the blue, but from the blue amp.
Yeah.
Right. And we took comments from this dude here.
Yeah, the MT15.
Okay.
Review and the Do Tubes Matter.
So this one, we started off with Do Tubes Matter. This one is from Dave Rebell. Hey, Dave, you made it to viewer comments. He says, excellent comparison, although I have not listened to this on my home phone, not home phone system, my bad. Although I have not listened to this on my home system on my phone, there is a noticeable difference between the two. The amp cab tends to stand out a little bit more than the modeler. I suspect in a larger venue, it would be very difficult to tell the difference between the two. Keep up the comparisons. The information is great. Cheers.
Thank you, Dave.
And cheers.
And cheers, yes. Yeah, I mean, in a big venue, I don't really know if it matters. If you got a good, you know what I mean? I think he's right. Like, if you have a good modeler, you know, profiler or whatever, or a real amp, in a great big room like that, I don't think, you know, the average listener is going to tell. I don't even think the average musician is going to be able to tell. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And you're right. So, like, you got to pick what works best for you in those scenarios. Like, they're all, the level of quality and all that stuff now is so good. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, I still think amps are better, but then again, when you're on the road and you got money that you're spending on hauling gear around, and you got to pay people to haul it.
And you got a 50-year-old back.
Yeah, exactly. So you got to hire a 20-year-old back to carry it around for you. That costs you money. So does the vehicle to drive it in, you know, to carry it in, and the space that it takes up, and just the maintenance and all that. So you got to make the best decision based on your circumstances. You know, there's some bands that are touring all over the place that got tons of money.
Right.
And for them, it's like, we'll bring a ton of gear because we can afford to. And then there's bands that are like, they're all in a van pulling a trailer, and God bless them guys, because they're the hardest working people out there, and they got to bring stuff that fits, you know. And I get it. I totally get it.
Helix Banana says the first video he ever watched from Tone Wars was you bagging plastic FRFRs. And he's also a Helix fan, and you like to kick that dog.
Yeah.
He says, I use a Helix through a plastic FRFR, and he's still watching.
You wanker! Oh, Darren's awesome, man. You know, he's got that Australian sense of humor. You know, and I've spoken to Darren several times now, and he's a great guy. He's a great guy. He's funny as hell. No, it's funny, like, and the funny thing is, I got some Helix videos coming up that are going to surprise some people. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. I got some really surprising Helix videos coming up. So, for you guys that think I kicked the Helix pretty hard, you got to watch these, because you're in for a shock.
Ben Burnett says, Fight Night started when Kemper released the stage. It was a game changer. The internet was on fire about it. Kemper versus Helix. Kemper won. Then everyone said Kemper versus Fractals. So Jared did.
Yeah, you're right. I was just basically going along with what you guys wanted, you know.
Jim Sieben. Hello, good people.
Hey,
hello,
Jim.
good
What's
person.
going on? What's going on, man? Thanks for joining us.
You want me to move on to the next viewer comment?
Yep, let's go to the next one.
Again, this was Do Tubes Matter? From the Chicago Todd. Dude. Just thought of something that might be a really cool experiment for the channel. It might be a fun experiment to see if you can get the best of both worlds. Based on my understanding, a cabinet flavors the tone by the actual design of the cabinet itself, such as the dimensions and the materials, but a lot of it comes from the types of speakers that are used. What if you replace the two 12-inch speakers in the Mesa cabinet with the new Celestion FRFR speakers? Then you would end up with your modeler, whether it be the Kemper or Line 6, feeding the SIN 5050 into the Mesa cab, which will have been converted basically into an FRFR. Theoretically, this should allow you to use any of the cab sims in your modelers with your Mesa cab. Whoa, that would be very fun to check out.
No, that's actually a killer idea, killer experimental idea. I think of all the experimental ideas that I've heard in the last several months.
I think we need to go to Chicago to do this experimental idea.
Yeah, maybe we should. So, yeah, that's a great idea, Todd. Thank you so much for that. I'm looking into that. I gotta figure out how to make all that stuff happen. Again, I'll have to buy the speakers. So, I mean, I'm trying to figure that out. You know, the funny thing is like you look at like Glenn Fricker and some of these other channels that are bigger. What he'll do is he'll just raise money for stuff like that.
Sure.
I'll be like, okay, if you guys want me to do this, what I'll do is I'll do it.
Yeah.
I just need everybody to chip in for it.
Yeah.
I'll do the experiment. And then what he does is he picks.
Well, because if 20 people kick in $5 or more, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, for these speakers, it'd be a lot more. But, I mean, you're
Well,
probably
if 50
talking...
people kick in.
Yeah. Well, like, for these speakers, it would probably... I have to look them up, but they're probably at least 150 each, you know? So, but that said, what Glenn does is he'll do that, and then afterwards he'll pick a random person, a subscriber that pitched in, and he'll send them to him and go, here you go.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'll give them away.
Like a raffle kind of thing.
Yeah. So he'll just raffle them off.
That's a
to
really
those people.
cool idea.
Yeah, so at least you have a chance to win them, and I'll do that. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we have enough subscribers, because I don't want somebody subscribing, you know, or
Sure.
sending $50 or $20 or whatever and not getting a chance to win the speakers because $20 won't get them for me. You know what I mean? So, and to be honest with you guys, like, I'm tapped out for the year as far as how much I'm spending, because...
You do realize the year's only like 2-3 weeks left.
I know.
You idiot. I'm so tapped out for the whole year.
Exactly. But come January 1st, I'm buying some stuff.
Oh, jeez.
No, I'm serious. I've spent way too much money this year on gear. And that's kind of the problem with running this channel, is that I'm always getting new gear in here and checking out, and I'm not kidding you. Well, you know our friend Kevin Williams, who like he takes care of dogs, like he fosters dogs. Yeah. And he falls in love with every one of them. So when they finally get adopted, he's always like, "Oh, it's I hate to see you go," you know. And that's how it is with gear. I try out gear, and I fall in love with it. And I'm just like, "Oh, this amp or this thing is so amazing," and I got to bring it back to the store after I'm done with it. And I leave, and it haunts my dreams because I want it so bad.
He needs some better dreams, eh?
Yeah, I need some better dreams.
So we got some comments here. Let's see. George, I'm going to crucify your last name. Amode. George Amode. Just bought Line 6 Helix floor with Power Cab Plus for my home studio. Did I make a bad choice for doing covers in my DAW? DAW? Is that how you say that?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts? Thank you.
Oh, well, hey, thanks for commenting. I appreciate you joining the live stream and everything. I think that the Line 6 Helix is a great product. I really do. And you'll see in upcoming episodes why I feel that way and how I utilize it to back all that up.
Yeah.
And a lot of you guys that are watching that know me really well probably know what I'm about to say. I think that the Line 6 Helix is the best, most flexible, easy to use 4-cable method product. In other words, running it with like an amp as an effects / switching unit or a controller, I don't think there's anything out there that even comes close to how awesome it is. It's awesome. It's awesome. The amp sims in it are good. They're not awful. They're good.
It was all you used for 4 years?
It was about 3. Yeah. The amp sims in it are good. I think that you're going to find that you'll like them. And
the honeymoon's over.
Yeah, but there's a honeymoon phase with every piece of gear. And what I can tell you is the Kemper if you're going to compare sound for sound, like amp sim to amp sim, I think the Kemper just does a better job as far as feel and tone goes, and you have more variety, because with the Kemper you can get any amp you want. And we've proven it in multiple episodes when we did blind shootouts and stuff, which is great. But if you were saying, hey, I got this to run with my amp for cable method, I'd say stop shopping. Take your little black book and throw it in the trash. You don't need to date anymore. Marry that thing. Keep it forever. But I'm not saying that you made a mistake, though. I think that it's a great product, and I think that you're going to get a lot of great use out of it. Not everybody has the opportunity to take a Kemper and a Helix home and shoot it out.
Right.
That's why we do what we do here.
Share the videos. Share the videos.
Yeah, share them. But I don't think you made a mistake. I think that you're going to like it. I really do.
Good.
I personally prefer the Kemper for that kind of stuff, but that's just me. I'll just put it that way. You know.
Juan Valdez.
Hey.
He says, I'm looking forward to the Helix videos. What a lot of people don't include about the Helix, which you have, is the routing capabilities of the Helix and how the Helix works with other gear.
Yes, thank you so much, because
Juan Valdez.
Yeah, it's a cool name. You got her all fluttering over here. Yeah, I think that you're right. I think that the Helix is used at its best capacity when you're using it for cable method. I really do, and I honestly don't think there's a piece of gear out there that can touch it regarding that. It really is better than anything else, especially when you consider the price, because the XFX 3 is $19.99 plus the several $100s, so let's just call it $2,700 for that and the foot controller. And I don't see where the benefit is by using that with your amps and stuff. I mean, if you're a pro touring musician and you're making millions of dollars, what do you care? You'll buy this one that has the more street cred. But honestly, the Line 6 Helix...
Yeah, and to get the street cred, you got to go through Fight Night.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where you get your street cred.
That's right, exactly. So, I mean, I think the Helix is great for cable, you know.
Let's see.
And I will be doing more videos about it.
Dave Rebel says, I'm working towards that right now, exchanging to 12-inch speakers out for the new Celestion FRFR units.
Oh, good. Well, if you do that, bring them over, dude.
We've talked about the change out in a custom 2x12 cabinet. It would be made out of 5/8 or 3/4 inch Baltic birch plywood.
Yes.
Finger joints and so on. Not plastic. I added that. Not plastic.
There's a story about the Baltic birch thing. I talked to Buck over at ISP Technologies. Buck, yes.
With the names tonight.
Yeah, with the names. Yes, the Baltic birch, it comes from a Baltic forest. You know, I guess it's in Russia or something like that. And there was a time 30 years ago that they could not harvest the trees from there because there was like this major freeze that was going on. So they actually, cab makers had to switch to a different forest to harvest the trees from to build cabinets. It was birch wood, but it wasn't from Baltic.
Hopefully they are replanting these trees.
Oh, yes, they are replanting the trees. But let me just say this. Okay,
just
Greta.
It out there.
So let me just say this. He said that there was a noticeable difference in the way the cabinets sounded and felt for that year when they were shipping cabinets out. They were testing them in the testing room, and he was like, they all sounded different, and they didn't sound as good because in the Baltic forest, the trees were more dense. The wood was dense.
I wonder if that's where Baltic amber comes from. They have amber rocks, or I don't even know if it's rocks. Maybe it's like a solidified goo over time, but that are supposed to take away pain. A lot of infants wear the Baltic necklaces.
I see. Yeah.
I wonder if it's the same forest.
It could be. Yeah. There's good stuff that comes from there, apparently. So I wish they made a Baltic whiskey.
That would take away pain. And,
well, I'm sure any whiskey will take away pain.
With enough of it.
But so that was the thing. Like, they were so relieved when they could go back in there and get the trees because the cabinets sounded way better with Baltic birch. So that's a little history for you.
I don't know if we're going to go on. Ben made a comment about discuss the poor man's attenuator. I think that was built into one of our comments that we're going to read later.
It was built into a comment. We decided to Yeah, I was like, I don't know if I want to do that one tonight, but since Ben brought it up, I think we
Sure.
should. Let's do that now. So somebody, I was talking about, I think it was with this guy, I was talking about in my live stream when I was reviewing this, that you can actually use the Helix as an attenuator for your tube amps. So in other words, when you run this through the Helix via 4-cable method, there's a block in the Helix that this amp passes through. And because of that, the Helix now becomes...
exactly what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
exactly. So the Helix becomes a master volume for the amp, which means you can crank this amp up and turn the volume down on the Helix,
Yeah.
and it allows you to attenuate the amp, because everybody knows that tube amps cranked up makes them sound better. So because you're working those tubes and they want to work. The tubes create energy by heat. So... and I said that, and somebody respectfully, they were like, oh, I don't know if that's really true, and I totally respect his opinion, and I respect the fact that he posted it, because that's what this channel is about. I'm not the great teacher of wisdom. I want to learn from you guys.
The man behind the curtain.
Yeah, exactly.
The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I'm not the Wizard of Oz. I'm like the dork of Woz. Of Oz, you know?
Woz. You're the dork of Woz.
I'm the dork of Woz. It's the wizard.
The Woz.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so, anyways.
You're so stupid.
I know, I am. I'm stupid.
That was really mean.
Yeah,
I'm
it was.
sorry.
That's okay.
You're not stupid.
No, I'm stupid.
I really appreciate you.
Yes. Yeah, because I'm so stupid. So, anyways, I appreciate the question and the comment that he made, and so Ben did some research, and he talked to an amp manufacturer about it, and they actually said that essentially, technically, I was right, because the tubes don't...
That's your pat on the back.
No, it's my in-ears. I'm tightening them up. The tubes don't care why they have to be cranked.
No,
all they care about is...
They're inanimate.
They're an inanimate object, and they don't have brains. And apparently neither do I. But so when you're cranking this up and then attenuating it with anything, you're still essentially cranking the tubes and making them work harder. It doesn't matter why. And I know that technically when you're running this through a Helix 4-cable method, you're attenuating because you're lowering the volume of the preamp section, but still you're cranking the tubes without having too much volume.
Yeah.
So hence attenuation. And
attenuation.
I guess according to what Ben told me that the amp builder told him is that if you're turning an amp up, no matter why, you are cranking the tubes, and if you're attenuating the preamp or the amp itself, doesn't matter. You're still getting more volts. So
Berserkerland Studio says hi, and he wants to know what we've been smoking tonight. We are high on life.
We're stoned to death on life. Yeah.
Life is so high.
Yeah, we're just having fun tonight. It's been a long week, so
I feel like we say that every week.
Yeah,
it's been a long couple months.
Yeah. We'll just say that it's been a crazy year so far. Oh, it's been a crazy life.
Aaron Lucas is in the house.
Hey, what's up, Aaron?
Aaron Lucas. He says, "Hey guys, more and more he's getting bummed at the lack of the effects in his Kemper. He says, namely in the overdrive."
Yeah, you know what? He's right, though. Kemper needs to update the overdrives. They really do. But if you do have an overdrive that you like, you can put that through the Kemper in the X loop. And then when you scroll through, choose for distortion. And that will be a loop that you can use for the Kemper. So don't put it in front of the Kemper. Put it in a loop so that when you switch patches, you don't have to do the tap dance thing where you turn in the pedal off on a clean channel or whatever. So that's what I would do. I've done it, and it sounds amazing. So I think that'll probably be in the next update. Yeah, they have to put more overdrives. That said, I found one that I like in there, and I never switch from it. It works fine for me, but everyone's different. And thanks for commenting.
Yeah. Did that help you? Did you catch that? Just let us know.
Yeah.
Ben says, as a general contractor specializing in cabinet and interior renovation, I'll say this: get the most plies, PLYS, you can, and specify no void. Minimum 13 ply, no void, cross grain, Baltic birch.
Yeah, and that's why the Baltic birches were the trees are better because they're more dense, and the more dense the wood is, the better and fuller and thicker the cabinet's going to be, and it's going to have more resonance.
John Smith commented in here, and I'm not sure what it's referring to. He says, "Does that work with the standard volume pedal, though?" I'm not sure what that was referring to.
He's probably talking about the attenuation. Okay. That's a good question. I think if you put the volume pedal in the loop, which brings it into the preamp section, and then you can crank. Yeah, I think it's kind of like a poor man's, for lack of a better term, a poor man's attenuation thing. I mean, there's going to be people that argue that, no, it's not true because technically this and that. But more volts is more volts. More heat is more heat. Tubes make energy by creating heat. And if you're cranking the tubes, you're creating more heat and you're creating more energy and the voltage goes up, you've attenuated your amp. As long as there's a way to turn that down so that you can allow the amp to be cranked, that's attenuation. So I think if you put your volume pedal in the effects loop, where I have mine, because when I turn my volume up and down, I want full gain, on that. I don't want to have that roll off kind of thing. So I think that would work. That's a great question. So
Steve Shaheen just chimed in. Hey, man.
Hey, what's up, man?
He says only if the volume pedal has a buffer. Otherwise, you get huge tone loss.
I see. Okay, I've never fielded that question before. So maybe take his advice then and get a buffer. What's up, Steve? I hope you worked that cake off. We hung out yesterday, and I took her to that place down the street, and we got this new gourmet gas station / bar / it's like
bowling alley.
Yeah, zombie apocalypse hangout kind of place. Is just amazing, and we got some great food, and they got this gourmet cake there, and
what was it? Peanut butter
explosion cake
and chocolate, right?
Yeah, can't go wrong with that. So yeah, that was fun. Yeah, I'll have our episode up in a couple days here.
So there is another comment that we this was about do tubes matter, right? Love the video. Now let's talk recording in an APT apt setup. Have you tried the Helix with the synergy for the tubes into a load box and then IRs? I wonder what the AB comparison with that would be. That's from James Coleman.
I haven't tried that, but I'm willing to give it a shot. Yeah, I mean, I did do the Helix through the real tubes, and it definitely improved the sound drastically. I mean, it was much better. Now, the funny thing is it the tubes, or is it the cab, or is it both?
Yeah.
And I'm going to find out, because I'm going to be shooting out a tube amp versus a solid state amp very soon. Mm-hmm. And I want to see if that mojo stuff is real or not. You know what I mean? So is it just a placebo thing, or is it true? So We're going to find out very soon.
I think this is still the next comment comes from Jeff Turkey.
Jeff
Turkey on do amps matter, or do cabs matter? It's the cabinet more than the power amp. Guitar cabinets are always better. Always.
Yes, they are. They're always better than FR. Is that the whole thing?
Yes. And then John Smith says, Bro, I got option paralysis bad. I want to just buy a Kemper stage and go direct into the PA system. Too gosh darn pricey, though. Just give me my top Jimmy Brown sound pack with a few options to tweak, gain, delay, and reverb, and that's all I truly need. I think anyways, until my option paralysis kicks in again.
No, option paralysis is real. Like, that's why, for example, when I got this, I dialed it in less than 5 minutes, and I was ready to go. I had a tour-ready tone, record-ready tone in less than 5 minutes. There was no second guessing. There was no, what if I did this? What if I got on my computer and typed in this stuff and went into this deep dive thing and tweaked that and picked this and that and nudged this here and got an editor out and did all this other stuff. I didn't have to do any of that. You turn a few knobs, and it's like, it sounds freaking killer. I can go on tour right now with this amp and never second guess anything, because there's nothing to second guess. It's a real amp, ran through a real cab with real speakers in it. There's nothing simulated, and you're done. And So option paralysis does not exist with real products. It only exists with digital stuff, and half of it is because we get in our own heads,
Yes.
and we second guess everything, and the other half,
Yes.
the other half of it is because, I mean, digital products are what they are, and you're always like, well, is this real? So, I think that if you have a great digital product, like with my Kemper, you will never see me tweaking my Kemper. I just plug it in and play through it. I don't touch knobs. I don't do anything because I've learned to trust the technology. If I have a profile in there of something, and Live Ready Sound stuff is amazing, Matt Fig stuff is amazing. If you play through that, just trust it. It's good. It's legit. So you should find stuff that you like and just stop tweaking and start playing.
I've been telling you that for years.
For years. That's why I got, all the stuff that I have.
All right, I think we've moved on. The next viewer comment. This is it the blue amp now? Is that the second one?
Mm-hmm.
All right, North Star 7, best review for this product. Saving and selling gear to get this. Sorry, Carvin and PV Ultra gotta go.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate the kind words. I worked really hard on that review, and it was a lot of fun. And I watched it back, and I was like, wow, that thing really does sound great in a mix. The blue amp, it really does. It's funny. It's the tightest amp I've ever played. No overdrive needed. I mean, you could play it, and I slammed it a little bit. I shouldn't say I slammed it with an overdrive. I nudged it with an overdrive just to give it that little bit of security that I needed, and I thought it sounded and played very well.
So S. Shanoy says, has anyone tried one of these live up against a real drummer or with another guitarist with the 50-watt tube amp? Does it hold up? I'm concerned about the Class D power stage, which in my experience always sounds muffled when pushed to live volumes.
That's a good question. He's talking again about the blue amp.
Yeah.
I haven't done that. When I played it here, I thought it was really loud, but then again, I wasn't in a room with a full band and all that. So if anybody has...
You didn't try it in a mix?
I tried it in a mix, like with recorded stuff.
But not live.
But not like a live group of people,
Not live, blow your head off sound.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't done that yet, but if anybody has, feel free to comment their thoughts, because I've seen a lot. I'm in the group on Facebook.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people talking about, I've done 20 or 30 gigs with it so far, and it's performed very well. So, but you don't know what they do. Are you in a band with a loud drummer or a quiet drummer? Do you play the tracks? I mean, there's all those variables.
Let's see. Same topic. Tremonti, this is from Rob Hansen. Tremonti is working on testing a 100-watt version, and it will probably be at this year's NAMM. Sounds like Seven Dust tracked their new record with the 100-watt proto, at least John Parts.
Oh, he's talking about
Conley's
the MT15.
Parts. Okay,
yeah.
Nice.
So, Tremonti is working with these guys and releasing a 100-watt version of this, which I think is going to be super awesome. I would love to review that when it comes out. You're making me
I'm so sorry. It's the wine.
Are you guys yawning? Everybody have a yawn moment. Yeah, but I mean, can you imagine this as a 100-watter? I mean, that would just be ridiculous.
That's what happens when we record at 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
We have a new Kemper owner in the house. Mule Blues, new Kemper owner.
What's going on, man? Congratulations.
Says it sounds awesome.
It does. Yeah, get some. What kind of music do you play? Like what genre? Because I'm just curious. I can steer you if you want. I can steer you towards some great profile makers.
Yeah.
I love my Kemper. You know what's funny is I got all this gear. I'm surrounded by gear. I got gear upstairs. I got Synergy stuff. I got this. I got all these different modules. I got that Kemper. I got the Kemper stage. I have a Helix. I have all this stuff. And every time I plug into my Kemper, even after playing like really good amps, I'm always worried, like, am I going to still like it? And I always like it. I always plug in and I'm like, freaking awesome. Freaking awesome. Yeah, it's a great piece of gear for replacing amps.
Brett Murphy. Hey, Brett Murphy.
What's up?
He says, if you're in a live band, are you not running through a PA? Set the amp to the sound you like, mic it, and run it in the mains.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, if you have an amp, like, even like this 15 watt, even though this thing will blow your head off, if you mic it, you're good. And if you want to have a little bit pumped in the monitors, we use in-ears, so we don't have that problem. That sounded snobby. You don't have that problem, do we, Nobby? Here's the in-ear monitors.
Right.
So nice. It's meant to be so well off and better than everyone.
Here's your Grey Poupon.
Yes, thank you. I shall eat it later. Thank you.
Oh, you threw it. You're like,
I'll just put it here.
Okay,
I shan't throw it. That'd be so rude, wouldn't it?
Mule Blues, who's the new Kemper owner, says he plays rock metal blues.
Oh, sweet. Look up Live Ready Sound. Look up some Live Ready Sound profiles. What I like about his is
Here it is again.
I can't look at you yawning because it'll make me yawn.
You're welcome.
Oh my god. Sorry, guys. Live Ready Sound, the thing I like about his profiles is that they're for players.
Yeah.
They're for guitar players that play guitar. They're not for mixing engineers in the studio that turn knobs and just go, oh, this sounds great in a mix. Who cares how it feels because I'm not playing it. Live Ready Sound stuff feels just as good as it sounds, and that's why I like them. You know, they're great.
Feels a big thing for you.
Yeah, feels a huge thing for me. So,
John Smith, have you ever used that D-Flex device? I made one and it's incredible, but now my volume is so low I need attenuator even with my loud drummer. That D-Flex concept is a game changer though.
D-Flex device.
It's DEEFLEXX is how he spelled it.
No, I haven't used that. I have not used that at all. Interesting.
Right.
I'll have to look.
Anybody else feel?
Yeah,
free to
I'll
chime
have to
in.
look that up. That sounds interesting.
All right. Next viewer comment, Michael Barber, about this little guy here. I've owned one of these for about 3 months now. Sounds completely sick with the BBE Sonic Stomp in the loop and running through to 12-inch V30s.
Oh yeah, this thing. I'll play it in a minute for you guys. I'll play it in 2 mixes. I've had some whiskey, and the night is getting older.
It's
so
not young anymore.
I'll probably screw up a few things, but I don't.
But
really
now
give a
you don't
crap.
care.
I don't really care right now. But this thing sounds absolutely incredible. It's ran through a my Mesa 212 cab, and it's mic'd with one of my favorite mics, which is the Sennheiser E609, and it just sounds absolutely incredible. I mean, this thing is a rage monster. And when I posted it on Facebook the other day, I had so many positive comments about it. Everyone's like, oh, that thing's a freaking beast, you know. So it was really good. And there's a guy. Oh, I'm so mad at myself. I meant to write his name down. I forgot. There's this really cool guy on YouTube that actually he's English, I think, or British, and he takes these amps apart and he reviews them. You know, he'll review the quality of the amp. So he'll pull it apart and go, let's look at the internal workings of this thing. Let's look at the tubes. Let's look at the chassis. Let's look at the circuit boards. Let's look at all this stuff. And he'll pick things apart. If something's not built well, he'll tell you, this thing ain't built well. Here's the problem. And he taps it.
Has he done one of those dudes?
Yes, and he gave it high marks.
He did give it high marks, really?
Yes, he said...
I feel like I'm surprised with that for some reason.
Well, this is made in China.
Yeah.
So that can be an issue sometimes with certain things. But he said of the amps that are in this category, of the mini amps and of this price point, he said this is the best built one so far.
Okay, then.
So he said there's nothing here that I'm looking at that that they cut corners on. And he listed the parts, and he said this is a good type of part, and and the power amp in this, all this stuff, it's all good stuff. Now watch this thing go kaput while we're live right now.
That's funny.
But so he gave it high marks, so that made me feel good about it.
Berserkerland Studios says, I have a Variex Shriekin, is that how you say it? Coming in a few days.
Shriekin, yeah.
Can't wait to put it into my Kemper. Any experience with Variex, Jared?
And good to hear you, and good to see you here. That's the whiskey, sorry. Good.
I gave you a generous pour.
Yeah, you did. And I didn't have much to eat, so it went whoop. Bounced off my stomach and went right to the brain.
Welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
But yeah, good to hear from you. He was asking me if I had any experience with the Shuriken.
The Variex Shuriken.
Yeah, I played one at
Do
NAMM.
they name these things funny on purpose?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A shuriken.
Shuriken, yeah. I played one at, I think it was our first time when we went to Music Fest, or was it Gear Fest?
Gear Fest.
Yeah, and I played one briefly, but I didn't have it plugged into anything, but it felt pretty cool. They look like cool guitars, and I do like, all the way you can detune it and do all the different string tunings. You can even turn the strings on and off on it, I think. I heard they're really cool. So, yeah, I would love to hear from you on how much you like it when you get it. So,
I have one last comment about this little
play.
Dude. All right, bulldozer guitar. Guys cranking an amp through the Helix is not the same as cranking the amp through an attenuator or load box.
We covered that.
The Helix is only attenuating the preamp volume of the amp, so it's just the same as turning the master volume of the amp down. Yeah, and that was...
Yeah, that's what we covered earlier. And again, what was that from?
Who was that from?
Yeah.
Bulldozer guitar.
Bulldozer guitar, yes. I do appreciate that because, again, we're here to learn too. And I definitely, if I give wrong information, it's not intentional.
Right.
And I would love for people to correct that because I don't want people to get wrong information. But, again, Ben Burnett talked to an amp maker, and they said that as long the tubes don't care why they're being cranked, all they care is they're being cranked.
Yeah.
And they put out more voltage and heat. So, at the end of the day, the attenuation works. It's not a fancy load box, but if you got a Helix and you're running it through there, and in 4-cable method, you are attenuating it, and technically and untechnically, it's happening. So,
sure. There's a couple comments, but I think you wanted to play, right?
Oh, I just lost my my batteries and my in-ears just died.
And there's no magic 9-volt on the floor tonight for you.
No, I got them over there,
okay.
So I'm going to put in a new 9-volt, and I'll be right back.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I know.
Mine died the last episode, and luckily I had somebody sitting over there.
Yeah, I just lost everything, so bear with me.
Well, we want to thank you guys again. We're not ending the episode. He's just going to get a 9-volt battery and come back. But we wanted to thank those of you, especially that have sent the super chats tonight. That is definitely gas in the tank for us. We also have Tone Wars t-shirts still. We have sizes small through extra large. We do not have any 2XLs. I'm sorry about that. We still have one of the bowling shirts, the button-down colored Tone Wars bowling shirts. You can get a hold of Jared at his email address, or you can message us through Facebook and just find us at Tone Wars, TONEWARS, 2 words on Facebook, and you can send us a message. Jared has the Square app, so he can take your payment over the phone or PayPal, either way, and you can send us the size that you need and your mailing address, and we'd be happy to get that off to you. I've really enjoyed being back. This past week has been bananas. My daughter is 11 years old. Her name is Lena, and she has had bilateral pneumonia. I had pneumonia a while ago, about a month or two ago, and now she had it. So we were in the hospital last night, and she broke out in this full body rash, and she told me when I came on tonight that I had to say that Lena is awesome, and she really is. So I have a 9-year-old son named Luke and a 11-year-old daughter named Lena. But it's been really nice to be back this week with you guys and reading the comments and making fun of that one over there. I think it brightens up his night when I do that. We were talking earlier about switching up fight nights too. Putting fight nights on hiatus, and he was going to try to do more interactive product demos. I don't know if we were going to do that in place of fight nights on Sunday as well, or if that was more of a midweek kind of thing.
It's more of a midweek thing, yeah, because again, like I could do gear reviews and have them recorded and edited and produced, but then again, it's 14 hours to do it.
Right.
And I can't answer your questions in real time and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, fight night, I think if a worthy fight night comes up and, like, something that needs to, have a nice shootout, we'll do it. You know, but I just don't, I might put them on hiatus for a month or two and just wait for something to kind of build. You know what I mean? Because NAMM's coming. There might be some new products that come out,
Nice.
and you know what I mean? It might be nice to do that. And and again, fight night is all done in fun, you know? So whatever product loses, per se, it doesn't mean that don't buy it, it's garbage. It just means that in that particular, it's like when you watch, like if you watch UFC, okay, and you got Conor McGregor versus, I don't know, whoever, Joe Blow.
Yeah.
And Joe Blow loses, but he puts up a good fight.
Yeah.
Does that mean I could beat up Joe Blow? No. I would never pick on Joe Blow that lost to Conor McGregor, because it means that he's amazing just to be able to step in the ring with that guy. I won't step in the ring with Conor McGregor or anybody that knows UFC. I won't step in the ring with somebody that took UFC lessons for 6 months.
You won't step in the ring with me.
No, I won't. Because I'd have to let you win. That's why, you know. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, like, you can't disrespect the opponent just because they lost. It doesn't mean they suck. It just means they lost that fight. That's all it is. You
ready to play now?
Yeah, I'm ready to play. Let me play some riffs for you guys on this thing, and I'll play a couple mixes, and then we'll see what happens after that. Let me bypass the bypass, and let me see what we got here. God, that's just evil. Like that last riff, that weird double harmonic nasty. Oh God, if an amp can do that, buy it. And this one does it in spades. I mean, this thing is just, there's so much rage coming out of this thing. And it's kind of refined in a way, but it's just, it's so good. When Steve Shaheen was here, he had his 6505 Mini. Yeah. We had it parked right there. And we did a shootout with them all. It was a friendly shootout, so nobody lost. I'm so afraid of, you know. But anyways.
Blinders, man.
Yeah, Blinders. I hear you. But that thing was sick. It was sick. But the difference in gain between the two, so this one has a more straightforward, gritty kind of gain. And the 6505 has more of a saturated, juicy kind of gain. It was like a completely different beast. But both of them were just filled with rage. I mean, it was nuts, you know. I think we only had the gain set on the 6505 at 3, where on this one it's actually at, it's probably about 2 o'clock, you know. But that's my sweet spot between doing rhythms and solos, so I have to put that out there too. So if this only has one gain channel, so if you're going to do rhythms and solos on it, you know, you need more gain for the solos, but you don't want it so overly saturated that your rhythms are loose. And as you heard, the rhythms are super tight on it still. So if you guys are on the fence whether or not to buy this, I mean, I'm not kidding you. Go freaking buy it. It's killer. Motor City Guitars got them in stock. I love that store. So if you live around here or anywhere in the country, they ship. They ship
Yeah.
anywhere in America. So go get one. They're awesome. Lots of street cred on that amp. Any other comments?
Ben went back to explain the deflex is a series of sound deflectors that redirect sound from your amp, thereby lowering the amount of sound energy hitting your ears. And then John thanked him for explaining it. He said it changed everything for me. Always had the problem of not hearing myself standing next to my cab. Fixed it completely. Tilting cabs takes out all the low end.
You're right. It does. You take a cab off the floor or tilt it, all that resonance is gone. You know, so that's why a lot of the amps have those resonance knobs for that reason, but you can only add so much. So it's funny, you know, the one thing I learned as far as, especially, I guess it goes with any musician, no matter what instrument you play, is people think that, oh, we're a bunch of nitpickers and this and that, you know, and oh, you guys are so needy. But the thing is, though, is...
Well, you need what you need.
Yeah, exactly. You need what you need. And there's no reason for it, or rhyme or reason sometimes. It's just, there's that magic little mojo, that little thing that you get. And it's just like, oh my God, now I can do what I do and I don't have to worry about, you know, not being able to hear myself or feel it right. Because as soon as a musician gets what they need, all of a sudden,
sky's the limit.
Dude, they find another gear. Yeah. It's just like, oh my God, it's like hitting that nitrous button. And you're like, nothing can stop me now. And it's just probably the same thing with you with mics. Remember when you checked out that mic at Sweetwater? Yeah. That one mic that you could pull away and it still picked up your voice really well?
It was just really heavy, though.
Yeah.
It was a heavy mic.
But it almost like drew your voice out of you. It pulled it in like a tractor beam when you were singing through it. And it seemed like you didn't have to work so hard, right, to sing through it?
I don't know about that.
But it made you feel better, right? I mean, it's just certain things, like with your in-ears. You know, as soon as you got the custom ones, you were like, oh, here we go.
I feel like there was a huge difference when we went from my, what are those little dudes called that you have, that I used to have?
KZ AS10s.
Yes, the KZ AS10s. When I went from those to the custom ones, there was a big difference.
Yep.
We had to change my...
Change your mix a
personal
little bit.
Mix. Yeah. Did we have
down.
to EQ it a little bit differently?
We EQ'd it a little differently, and we brought some stuff down that used to be too loud. Now we had to kind of adjust for that. Now I have the KZs and I love them, but I'm not a singer.
Right.
So,
but the biggest difference was when we went from not having them to having them. That's when how you were saying.
Oh my God.
You find another gear, and
you became. You became more confident, and because you were more confident, you took more chances live, and you actually were nailing things just with ease live. Where before, I think that there were probably notes that
I was nervous that once I got live, I wasn't going to be able to hear it, so I didn't take the chance to do something.
Let me put it to you guys this way. I'm the analogy guy here. So like, it's if you put somebody in a room. Yeah. And you turn the lights out and tell them to run through the room. You know what I mean? They're not gonna run through it unless they're gonna hit things, and they're not gonna walk as fast or run as fast. They're gonna be timidly like feeling their way through, like, oh, that's a couch and that's a this or that. Yeah. I don't want to trip over it. Where's the staircase at? You know. But with in-ears, it's literally like someone turned the lights on. Yeah. And it's like, and now you can run through the room. You can do anything you want because you know where everything's at. That's the difference between having in-ears and not having them, you know.
Gravel Rock says, what model of microphone are you talking about? I wish that we could remember.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I know. I wish we would have brought it up.
It was like $900 or something.
It was a ridiculously expensive vocal mic, and it was super heavy, and it kind of looked, this is going to sound funny, but it sounded like something it looked like something you'd see on the Jetsons. Do you remember that old cartoon? I don't know how old you are. I probably just aged myself.
James' wife.
It was very thin. Yeah. And then it had these silver ridged things around it. But the mesh went down really far. It was like the mesh was this much, and the mic was about that long. This much of it was mesh.
So a third of it was mesh.
Yeah, and I cannot remember. I wouldn't, even though I know you said it drew things out of me, I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to use it. It was too heavy.
Well, it was too heavy, and the other concern you had was it picking up everything else in the room.
Yes.
Because it was so...
If we farted or something.
Because that never happens. Yeah, so like when you're on stage, like especially like we play the backing tracks as us two and a bass player. We don't have a loud drum kit on the stage, but I could almost imagine like if you had a drum kit on stage, oh my God, it would probably pick all that up.
Yeah.
Unless there's like maybe some sort of field or whatever, like with technology
gate
where
you can put on it.
Yeah, like
but
it
then
only goes so
why
far.
have a microphone that you can picks you up from out here and put a gate on it? What's the point?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that would have worked.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's one of those pieces of gear that you'd have to try in the field of battle, you know, in the battlefield and see how it really works.
Yeah.
Because everything works great in a lab, you know, and then you get in the real world.
Gravel Rocks also said, I just got the MT15. It's an incredible amp.
Oh, it is, dude. I'm serious. I love this thing. It's so good, and I'm going to be doing some episodes on how I pair it with the Helix and in 4-cable method, and how the Helix is just such a great pairing for this. I like the fact that you can run 2 cabs off of it.
Yeah.
So I can get stereo sound.
Yeah.
I can have both of my Mesa cabs run off of this and get that big sound from it. So I do like that.
Well,
Not a lot of minis do that.
Back when you were playing, Berserker Land Studio says that's some killer tone and playing.
Thank you.
He wants you to profile and post it.
Ah. I've never done a Kemper profile yet. Maybe I'll have to talk to Tim Warner about how to do it real quick, and maybe I could do a direct profile of it and see, you know, what it's like.
We're back to Gravel Rocks. After experimenting with a lot of mics, I use a Sennheiser 935 for live vocals.
Oh, okay. 935, huh?
out.
That's something. You know what we should do one night? We should have you do a microphone shootout.
Yeah.
You know what we should do is have you and a couple singers come over on a fight night.
Absolutely.
Fight night just got back to life. Let's do that. Let's do a fight night with microphones.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah, I think that would be
For real.
really cool. I know a lot of guitar players watch this show, but I mean, there's
Invite your vocalists.
Yeah, invite your vocalists, and we
have a watch party.
Yeah.
Bring some beers.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
some whiskey.
Yeah. And like you're gonna love hearing her sing anyway, so that's always fun.
Thank you.
And that'll be a treat for me. I get to just sit here and listen to you sing, and I don't have to worry about it.
Be a spectator.
Yeah, I can just be a spectator for once. And we'll bring on some great singers. There's a lot of great singers around here. In fact, T.J. Richardson's singer is. You guys are familiar with Tim the Ripper Owens. This guy could have been his little brother.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this guy is sick. I mean, he can hit some notes, you know. Yeah, he's really good. So we'll bring him on. Maybe we can bring Aaron on, Aaron Ecomando, and several other people. And you just reinvigorated Fight Night.
Gravel Rocks, who suggested that, says he's new to Tone Wars channel. I will follow from now on. Awesome channel.
Welcome. Thank you so much, man. We really appreciate that very much. We really do. Thank you. This is a growing channel, and you know, by this time next year, my goal is to be at 15,000 subs. 15,000 people on here that we can interact with, because I want to do more live interactive type things as opposed to like the produced uploaded ones.
Right.
You know, I really do.
Ryan Briggs says, hey from Texas. Just found your channel a week or two ago. Haven't caught one of the live shows until now.
Oh, awesome.
Well, hey.
That's what these are for, so we can say hello to you, and you can get to know us, and we can get to know you a little bit.
Feel free to ask any questions.
Yeah.
You're welcome to go to Tone Wars on Facebook, and you can private message questions.
Yeah, anything you want, man. I mean, we love interacting, and I guess that's probably why we do the live streams more than anything, is because it's more fun to just do this and interact with each other and with you guys, you know.
We have a Michael Maslowski in the house.
Hey!
He hasn't been here in a minute. He says, you'll still want to have your own VX Crack and Jared. Howdy, everyone. It's been a while.
Hey, what's up, man? Michael, he's probably been stuck in the hot springs for a while.
Oh, is Michael that guy?
Over in BC,
I want to come to the hot springs.
Well, if we ever go that way, we're going to hit you up, and we're going to do a hot springs trip with the whiskey and the wine and just hang out and share stories. I think that would be really fun. Because remember that one night he's like, well, guys, I'm off to the hot springs.
Yes.
We're like, oh, God.
Yeah. We've got the snow on the ground.
Yeah, exactly. It's great to see you here, man. Seriously, great to see you. Well, here's what I could do. Let me play this in 2 mixes, all right? And then we'll finish up with some more comments and stuff. And so let me make sure I got all this stuff arranged on my phone
I only
properly.
have 13% battery left on this dude, so.
Oh, you're good. You're good. So, standard, let me see here. Yeah. All right. So let me just play this in a mix. I got 2 songs to play for you guys, and then we'll wrap up in a few minutes after that, read some more comments, and then we'll get going. So 1 second. Well, I lied. I only had 1 mix.
That's all right.
Yeah. So, but that's how this sounds in a mix. It's just a killer amp. Like I think Michael Maslowski even said on the community section of our page when I posted this, he said that thing's an absolute beast.
Yeah.
And you're right, man. Do you have one of these, Michael? I'd like to hear your further thoughts about it, because I'm just so relieved that the videos I've seen have all given it high marks, and even the guy that tears them apart and puts them back together said the same thing.
Good news, yeah.
Well, I've watched a lot of his videos, and he's not afraid to look at something and go, "Oh, you see that right there? That's crap."
Crap.
That's crap.
That's funny. Let's see. Gandhi Schlot, is that how you say it? Gandhi Schlot says, studio looks awesome.
Thank you.
Keep doing what you all are doing. Unbiased, unfiltered, and objective reviews. Helps us all and moves us forward.
See, thank you. Thank you so much, dude. Because, I mean, seriously, that's my whole intention, because you guys got to understand, and I think a lot of you do, there's a lot of people out there that have channels, and God bless them, and they do demos, and they get paid to do them, and that's great. Because
we would like to get paid to do them.
Yeah, we would like to get paid to do them as well. But here's the thing, though. A lot of them do them, and they collect that paycheck, but they don't tell you what they don't like about the product. There's no objectivity there. It's just, this is what it does, this is what it sounds like, blah, blah, blah. And then they leave all of the things out that's in their head that's like, man, if they only would have done this, or that. Yeah. And then we buy this stuff, and we're like, well, what about this and that, And that's what we try to do here, is be completely objective with everything, and be honest.
Let's see. Dave Rebel. There's a good fight night. The Marshall Origin 50 versus the Hughes and Kettner Grand Meister Deluxe 40.
I gotta get one of those. I gotta get my hands on one.
Oh, and Gravel Rock says, get on Tone King's channel, Philip McKnight, and chat when they are on, and you will pick up a lot of subscribers.
Oh, yes. I love Tone King.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Let me give you one of these bad boys right here. That's what he always said. Let's start it off with one of these bad boys. I love Tone King. He's an awesome guy. Yeah, you think I got a lot of gear. That guy has a wall of amps behind him. Yeah, it's like, geez, dude.
Well,
Yeah, he's a cool guy too.
your time's coming.
I hope so. Oh, that means I can buy a bunch of amps? You heard it here.
I'm going to need some boots to go with.
All right, fair enough. With every amp, you get a pair of boots.
A pair of boots. All right. Done. Deal.
Sweet. That was easy.
Ben says, do you feel like the main difference in your tone between MT15 and Synergy would be the difference in the mids and low mids? The MT15 sounds very close to your original tone.
Who's asking that?
Ben Burnett.
Oh, Ben Burnett.
Ben Burnett.
That is a great question. You know what I should do is I haven't played my Synergy stuff in a few weeks because I've been tied up with all this other stuff. But I want to give you an educated, accurate answer. Yeah, so I'm going to play...
Educated what?
Yeah, an educated, accurate answer.
Accurate answer.
So let me play through that again, and I will get back with you. That's a great question.
All right.
Yeah. Really
and then Maslowski, I have the Kraken, and that slays. Having said that, the MT15 is very versatile, and the high gain tone is a breeze to dial in. It's brutal and quick to dial in.
It is, and that's the thing that I'll say again about real amps, is that, like, with a modeler, you're down here for hours going chug, chug, tweak, chug, chug, tweak,
that's
phone
no
call,
fun.
NASA, hey, and they call your buddies, and you're like, hey, what does this sound like? And I'm frustrated with, with an amp. I'm so used to dealing with digital platforms that when I got this here, I was done dialing it in less than 5 minutes. And I'm like, it can't be good. I've only spent 5 minutes on it. But it was. And it's like, it is what it is. So the Kraken, oh, man. Now you got me jonesing for the Kraken because that...
It has a cool name.
It is. It is.
I wonder what kind of boots I'll get.
Boots I'll get. Some work boots to help me pay it off. Wouldn't that be funny? Here you go. Here's your galoshes. We got to go snow shoveling. But yeah, I want to. That's a good one. I wonder what kind of boots I'll get. Hey, Michael, tell us what kind of boots she should get for the Kraken. I think that would be a really interesting thing. Galoshes. But yeah, the Victory Kraken, I want to try that so bad because I heard that thing is just sick. So, and it's very unique. It's a very, very unique amp. So, yeah, I didn't know you had a Kraken, dude. That's really cool. Feel free to stop by sometime with it.
He says it's... Wait, we have to go there because the hot springs.
Oh, that's right. Remember? Yeah, we'll come to you.
It's a train wreck heading your way. That's what the VX Kraken is.
Nice.
Let's see, Ryan Briggs. I'd love to know how well the master volume works. I have an old 6505 Plus that I used to gig with, but now that I'm old, I have to dodge flying knives from my wife. It's so loud at its lowest volume. He's heard that the MT15 starts are loud too.
You know what's fun? What's cool about the MT15 is it has a half power mode on the back. So I can actually
buy her some boots, Ryan. Buy her some boots.
Boots do solve a lot of problems.
Yeah.
They really do. Yep. And on a good night, you can knock some boots. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So you could say that too. Here's some boots for us to knock, honey. But yeah, I mean, you could turn this down to 7 watts. And really lower the volume and still get some great feel and gain out of it. And that's something that's really big, too. I mean, that's the thing. I think these mini amps are really starting to have a huge spot in the marketplace for that. Because
she has a lot of boots.
Get her a puppy? I don't know.
Puppies. No Nothing puppies? Else to take care
Chocolate.
Chocolate, wine, boots.
Yeah, those are the big 3, aren't they?
Massage, gift certificates.
Oh, there you go. And while she's getting her massage, you can blow the roof off your house.
There you go. You have like a whole hour and a half to yourself with drive time.
And she'll come back feeling amazing. Yeah. There you go. Massage. And then as soon as she gets home, just hand her some chocolate and wine. There you go. And then after that, you can knock some boots.
He says, right. Well, what are you thinking? It's 8:39.
8:39. Well, I think we should probably wrap it up for the night.
Okay.
You know, I've dropped my pick like 10 times now. Well, let me just say this. We really appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Thank you so much. It was great seeing a lot of you that we haven't seen in a while. And it's great seeing all the people that come every week. We really appreciate that, and we will never take you for granted. We really appreciate you guys. And I will be going live Wednesday night, I think, around 8, with the JP Mark II C+. So I'll be doing a full review of that playthrough with you guys live, and I'll answer all your questions. So get your questions ready, get your comments ready for that. Ask me to do things, I'll turn knobs, do whatever, you know, and what?
I'll just keep that on the inside.
All right. So I'll do whatever you want with it. Make it an enjoyable night for us all, and I'll be doing that every week with a new piece of gear, and yeah, we'll do a fight night with mics coming up. We will do that.
Sounds fun. Not this month, though.
No, not this month. I'll have Carrie arrange that. She'll reach out to all her singer friends and make that happen, and I'll just come down here and enjoy myself, you know, so that will be fun. So anyways, well, thank you very much for tuning in. We really, really, really appreciate you spending your evening with us. We value that immensely. So, until then, I'll see you guys on Wednesday night around 7 or 8, probably 8. And then, we'll see you guys next Sunday. Thank you very much, guys. God bless you all, and drink whiskey and enjoy life, because that's what we're doing.
And buy your boots.
And buy boots. Exactly. All right. Take care, you guys.